Hey everybody, how's it going? My name's Angelo and I'm here to have some fun with you with health and fitness. Today I'm going to be talking about, do you know the 5 things that you need to have or understand in order to be successful in your health and fitness program? Well, I'm going to share these 5 things with you today, and then we're going to have a little fun talking about my journey and what I discovered today. I'm super excited to share it with you, and then that's what we have planned for today. So the 5 things I want to talk about, if you can master these 5 things, then you will see that there is a huge impact you can have on your life in your health and fitness, which is what I'm focused on. But you can take this to your profession, you can take this into your relationships. It doesn't matter. It's the skills that have made me the person I am today since 2006, once I discovered Tony Robbins. Most of them have been in some way inflicted, projected, used because of something I've read from Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins had shaken up part of what I believed. Like, what was it that I actually knew about health and fitness? And with the breaking of the ideas of like what things should be and like actually challenging them, like what's right or wrong, that was like the first thing I learned from Tony Robbins. Like, you have this belief, but it could be the actual belief that's holding you back. So you got to get rid of all your beliefs. And although you try to do that, you can't get rid of all of them at once because there are some that really are anchored inside of you. So what we need to do is understand those, and we're going to end up facing them. But the easy stuff we can change will automatically do. But the first thing we need to do is break the habit of thinking that what we know is actually right, because new things are discovered all the time, more distinctions, more understanding of it might work for this group but not for this group. So it's really something we need to look at. And that made the biggest difference for me. The second thing that you need to be taking into consideration is the 3 things that I kind of talk about, which is a swish pattern, anchoring, and your power move. Those are the next 3. So anchoring is like when you want to attach an emotion or feeling to something, and then by using that something, you can trigger the emotion, the decision, the action that you want to take. So for instance, for me, when I go running, one of the things that I like to do is attach music to something, like a specific workout. Like tempo workouts are probably one of the hardest workouts for me to do. And with that difficult workout, I attach a powerful song that I resonate with, so that when I'm feeling like down, like it's raining, gloomy, I had a long day at work, maybe something happened to my day to kind of give me a bad vibe, then I will put on this music, and that music will stimulate me and get me into state so that I'm out there and actually doing what I want to do and in the performance that I want to do. So anchoring is super powerful. The other one is the swish pattern. Swish patterns help us break attachments to things. So where anchoring attaches us to something and helps us associate feelings, and we can already have them, and they may be already dragging us down. Like for instance, when I talk about smelling pizza, that triggers an emotion and a feeling throughout my body that makes me want to have pizza. And so we can attach something good to it by using anchoring. Swish patterns help us break the attachment. So if we want to break the attachment to, say, eating pizza, we can do swish patterns that help us separate them. And the best one, I haven't really used swish patterns so much except for one time. I had a bad association with an employee at work, and I didn't want to have that association with them. It was almost like they were above me, more powerful than me, and I use a swish pattern to actually dissolve that feeling, that emotion of inferiority to that individual. And that actually helped me a lot, because that, in combination with This next thing, which is the power move, or state management, or what I call awakening your inner warrior, you can take this and set your, get your energy level, your state to even a higher power. Like you'll drive through anything. And it's sort of like linking anchoring as well, because you're trying to get an emotional, physical, like you're trying to get everything into this moment to raise your energy super high and then allow it to regulate to where you need it to be. So when I went for one of my job interviews, what I needed to do was, I was afraid of this person, so I used SWISH patterns to create an equality between us, a respect, but an equality, that I was not inferior, that I did belong in this position. And then I used power moves and awakening my inner warrior to actually dissolve the situation and take control, in essence, control my state, which then allowed me to control the other person's state, which then created a rapport. And then boom, I knocked the interview out of the park. And needless to say, that kind of changed my life and my view. Now we can take that into health and fitness, because we can do the same thing with foods, exercise, the gym, whatever it is. We can use these tools to go against it. And even though the last one kind of relates with the first one. The first one, I talked about the belief system. The fifth one deals with opening yourself to new belief systems. And what we want to do is take in the good, the bad, and the persistence. So I talk about persistence, resonation, and pushing off. I can't think of the word right now, but you don't want anything to do with it. You resist it. Sorry, that's it. Resist it. So when one of those three things come into play, it's going to come into your belief system. You're gonna be like, ooh, I like that. So you're gonna incorporate that, easy peasy. The second thing is that you resist it. Inside that resistance is growth. I'm telling you, if something is pulling at you, you're resisting against it, it's because of growth. And then the other thing is persistence. If something's showing up on your doorstep, knocking on that door, and it's there in your face, then you should stop and listen to it, because inside that is probably also something that's going to change your life. Now, it could be something you resonate with, and what life is trying to say is there's more to it, because you might be like, yeah, I already know that. But maybe there's something that you're missing that could take your life to the next level. You need to look at that. Of course, persistence also could be with resistance, which means that you're trying to not look at it because you're afraid or don't want to challenge your belief system. So you got to go into that. So you got to play with those three. And when life sends them your way, those three signals, you got to take a hold of it. All right? And that only will happen once you get rid of number one we talked about, which is challenging your belief systems. Don't go into anything knowing you know anything. And act on the things that you think you know, but as soon as life challenges it, don't think you already know it, because there could be something else on top of what you already know. Does that make sense? So here's the 5 things. Your belief systems. You got to make sure you don't let them get in your way. Learn the 3 skills: anchoring, SWISH patterns, awakening your inner warrior. And then the 5th one is how to handle those belief systems, which is, does something resonate? Does something resist with you? Or does it persist? And take those in and really examine those. If you do those 5 things, I'm telling you, just those 5 things, you will make the biggest difference in your life. Just those 5 things. I'm telling you, they are super powerful. And don't take my word for it, even though I'm telling you. Go try it for yourself. If you're not sure what a SWISH pattern is, if you're not sure what anchoring is, or awakening your inner warrior / power move, then let me know, message me, and I will definitely help you go through those, because you should not be walking through life without these tools. these 5 things. You miss out on these 5 things, you're missing out on directing your life in the direction that you need to, because there's barriers, and you'll knock through any barriers with these 5 things. I'm telling you. All right, let's talk about my journey though, because these things come up. These 5, well, I should say number 1, my belief system, and the last one, resonation, resistance, persistence. So there's this term that's been persisting with me, which I've been dabbling with but haven't really dove into quite yet until today. So I have been hit with something that's been kind of like, it brushes by me and I'm like, ooh, that's kind of interesting, but I don't have time for it. It comes by me again, oh, I don't have time for it. But this time I'm like, you know what? I really got to look at it, because it's just coming, it's just knocking on my door so much. So I said, bring it in. So it's redefining your body composition. And I bought a book, I want to say about last month. Yeah, last month or during vacation. Maybe it was during December. I bought a book called The 4-Hour Body by Tim Ferriss. And I opened it up today and I started reading it, and all of a sudden, boom, the first thing that popped into my face was I can't remember the name of the word, but you redesign your body essentially. And I was like, ooh, this is interesting. And he started talking about, in the book, things that I'm telling you and teaching you and showing you how I went through my journey. This guy went like, he's like a decade ahead of me doing the same things, and he had a lot more resources to accessible to him, that he was able to do some major testing and discoveries. And I can't wait to dive in. I'm already diving in, and I can feel it's funny because I can feel the resistance, and this is why we need to do these things. Like I just in the first chapter, I'm like, I don't know if I can wrap my hand around that or take that in, or I don't know. But I know right in there is probably the answer that I've been missing. The thing that I've been resisting against, it's in there. That's going to be my answer to some of the things that I've wanted to do with my health and fitness journey. So I can't wait to dive into that book, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of things that are going to confirm the things that I found in my own journey, based and share with this individual too. I'm going to try to reach out to this individual. Tim Ferriss is probably he's highly known, so my chances of actually reaching him are maybe low, but I would love to sit down with this guy and just talk to him, because he seems like a type of guy that I could resonate with and just start talking to, and just talk about all the things that he challenges and understands, and yeah, just amazing stuff. But anyways, so I'm going to be digesting that book, because once I get to phase 4, which is right after this, phase 4 is going to go into what I'm expecting to get from his book. But his beginning is my phase 4, so everything's lining up perfectly right now, and I didn't plan that. I was planning to have to do a major lot of research, but I'm going to guinea pig myself off of his book and see if we can actually make some huge gains in progress. Meaning right now, we are focused on losing weight. If you're following me and following along, we're focused on losing weight right now. We're not focused on how much body fat. We're watching it, but we're not focused on how much of it's body fat, how much of it is muscle. But that's going to have to change at some point, because we're not going to be healthy until we actually address that. It doesn't make sense to lose 100 pounds, but your percentage of body fat is even higher than it was at the very beginning. Or maybe it doesn't matter. That's what I'm going to find out here. What kind of challenges am I going to get in this book that I'm reading? So I'm super excited about that. Okay, if you think this will help, anything that I talked about today would help somebody on their health and fitness journey, please share it with them. Please support me by subscribing, following, liking this episode. If you want to hear more things about like more topics like this, if there's something that you want me to talk about in the future, please leave a comment and let me know what that is, and I'll be sure to either get an answer to you or have a future episode on that. Hey, and if you want and you're brave enough and want to go up on live, I'll bring you up at the same time and we can have a conversation with other people about this. So with that, I hope you have a wonderful evening and a wonderful day tomorrow, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a good one.